Hello everyone and welcome back to another TSR track guide. Today we're at Austria, it's the Red Bull Ring and a very demanding track, although it doesn't look like it. 3 sectors as usual, but 3 DRS zones with only 10 corners to navigate through. So a lot of overtaking will happen around here. It's only 10 corners, so one of the shortest circuits, at least lap time wise. I would say, as there's the bull chilling over the top of the circuit. We jump on board with Alesi, who's coming around the final corner now, opening up the DRS, coming to the line, and we'll go for another lap where we will jump on board with him. So it's around 80 to 85 meters is where you want to brake for the first turn. And this corner is especially in quali, is particularly hard to navigate through because the sun will come down and you don't spot the right braking point, and you can't really spot the first corner entirely. So it's a bit of a blind spot in quali, but now we're in time trial where you can see there are perfect conditions. Braking around 80 to 85 meters for this corner, and it's a bit reminiscent of Spain, for example, where you had to brake on the apex. You have to place your car just on the apex, where the apex is just under your car, to get maximum speed through this corner. Now it's a right-hander where you have to set up basically your car for the run uphill to the third corner, which is the hairpin and basically the slowest corner on the track. So you want to place your car nicely. Prepare for possibly an overtake or preparation even for the third DRS straight. That's what you can do here. So you want to brake at around 80 meters, come into this corner, and you don't want to clip it too much because that could invalidate your time either on the inside or if you go a bit too wide on the outside as well. So you don't want to aim for that, which is, self-explanatory. And you really have to attack this corner because it's very hard actually to not cut the corner, especially in this game. I mean, we see Alesi is slightly off track with the front wheel, but he won't be with the rear. And a very nice run through here and letting your car go wide, but not too wide, of course. And now opening up the DRS once again, and there's your run up the hill where you can either prepare or overtake, whichever you prefer. And at around 85 meters is where you want to brake once again for this uphill right-handed, this hairpin and slowest corner on track. Possibly a good overtaking opportunity, or like I said previously, a good spot to place your car well for the third DRS straight we have on this circuit. So you want to brake there, go down to first gear for the extra rotation, quickly up to second. Alesi opts for second. You can also go up to third just to minimize your wheel spin, because that is also the trickiest traction zone we have on the track. And third gear just avoids that wheel spin. So, and now opening up the DRS once again, and there is your best overtaking opportunity possibly on the circuit, just to dive it down the inside or go around the outside. And we can see it around 100 meters because it goes downhill. You have to brake a bit earlier than on the previous runs through the turns, because the car will push downhill, which is, physics. And you will go down to second gear for the extra rotation, which Alesi does here fairly nicely. You can either go around the outside or down the inside, because then you have the third sector where there's no DRS straight or no DRS zone at all, where you actually can get away from your opponent. Second gear, quickly up to third, now up to fourth. And we are going to enter the final sector in a few seconds. There's basically your braking and turning point is at the same spot, which is the fifth red mark on the right hand side on the apex, which is a bit hard to spot. It just takes a bit of practice actually to do that and to master that. but yeah, just a bit of practice in, and then you will take this corner like an expert. So you want to go as far to the left as you can. Actually clip the apex. Alesi misses it here ever so slightly, but yeah, takes a bit of a compromised line, goes a bit wide here. I mean, that's perfectly fine. You can do that just to maximize your speed, your exit speed out of the corner. And now for this next left-hander, you don't want to get too far to the right, because that could invalidate your lap as well. So you don't want to do that. Now for this left-hander, you want to clip the apex ever so slightly. Let your car go wide, but not too wide, because that could also invalidate your time, and also it could unsettle the car, this curb, which also you don't want, of course. Now it's a sprint to the final 2 corners, and actually, as Alesi is hitting the final 2 corners, you can see that line that's there, that on the right hand side there is the pit entry, and at around 50 meters is where you want to brake. So that's basically your indicator for when to brake for this penultimate corner. And also what you have to keep in mind, especially in the race, if there is a car coming into the pits, that will get into your way, because the pit entry line is on the right hand side, and cars will go a bit slower through this corner as they enter the pits. So beware, and just don't get front wing damage from what could be unnecessary. Let your car go far to the left, and now yeah, very tricky braking and turn in zone for this final corner, because there is no real indicator where to brake. I usually pick the 5th red apex marker, basically, but that's also practice like on a few corners before. Just a lot of practice to be put in to actually spot your braking point and your turning in point for this final corner. And now for this final corner, you don't want to get too far to the inside, to the right hand side, because that could A, invalidate your lap time, or B, just completely unsettle your car, because that curb just could wipe out your whole race or your quali lap. Now also you don't want to get too far to the left on the exit, because that could also invalidate your time, but you're going to maximize your speed through this corner, so you might actually get a bit too wide, but as long as you do it like Alesi does here, just place your car in the middle of the track, that will be completely fine. And opening up the DRS, coming to the line, and that's a lap around Austria. It's a 1.2770. Fairly solid lap from Alesi he did here, and he will show us the setup, which is on your screens right now. That's it from me. I say thank you for tuning in, and until next week, where we're going to hit Silverstone.